Awesome, great, glorious day it is. This is the day the Lord has made, and indeed we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Umubanga podcast, where we aim to inform, transform, as well as inspire. As we continue to say thank you for nominating us on the Zamtel Social Media Awards. So make sure you continue voting, and let's bring it home. Let's bring it home, yeah? Yeah, so our guest today is a celebrated gospel artist, songwriter, vocal coach, teacher, and worship leader from Zambia. Well, I don't know where she's from, if she's not from Zambia, but yeah. She discovered her passion for music at the age of 6 and has since dedicated her life to using her talent to inspire and uplift others over the years. She has collaborated with numerous artists and producers, earning recognition for her powerful vocals and heartfelt compositions. She has performed at numerous churches, ministered, not performed. Kadim Zambia, Ngunga technically correct. She's ministered at various churches, concerts, and crusades, both locally and internationally in countries such as Zimbabwe, Botswana, South Africa, and to mention just a few. Her music resonates deeply with the audiences, and she is best known for her award-winning song, It's Alright, which earned her the Best Gospel Song in Southern Africa at the Shanaika Awards in 2013 and a nomination for a Chapro Award in 2012. So yeah, she's released 3 successful albums, with her most recent album, The Altar, receiving widespread acclaim in 2023. She won an award at the Oliver Awards for her song You Are Bigger, produced by the renowned producer Ben Blazer. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together even as I welcome Joyce Malalabanda, aka Joyce ZM.
I love that.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
Very well, thanks. How does it feel having this bio read to you? Like,
excited. Yeah, and sometimes I'm like, is it me? Yeah.
Awesome. So before we dive into the conversations and all, but on a daily, how does Joyce's day start like?
Okay, so in the morning, usually I have prayers. And I think that's the last thing I usually have as well in the night.
Yeah.
So usually for me, in the morning, I have prayers, and then that's how I start my day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you read, I'm a teacher as well. So during holidays, usually with my husband, because we stay in separate towns. Yeah. So it's definitely prayers.
Yep.
And then after that, I have to prepare for him. He has to go for work. So definitely those preparations and the like. And that's how I start my day.
Awesome. Favorite Bible verse?
Ow. Favorite Bible. I didn't see it coming. Okay, so the usual, not Jeremiah, but Psalm 23. Yeah, where it says, the Lord is my shepherd.
I have everything I need.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Welcome to the Umubanga podcast. It's been long overdue.
Yes, it's been long overdue. It's been long overdue, and I'm super excited to be here.
Awesome. So I think my first introduction to you was I had traveled to Botswana.
Okay.
And I was with my brother and Prophet Jonathan. And then I think at that time when I had traveled, that was June. And I think there was supposed to be a We Are One concert in Kasama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was like, I'm talking to Joyce, they're organizing this is what's happening and all. And then, so I forgot about it. And then last year, I think what was that? August, September? Yeah, so Prophet Jonathan came through to Zambia.
Yes.
And then that's how I think I was at I was in his room, and then you and your husband came through, and then he's like, "Oh, this is Joyce, and this is Jacob."
Yes, and that's how we met, right?
Yeah, and the rest is history, and here we are. So yeah, so look. There are people who know you and there are people who don't know you. But in a nutshell, like, who is Joyce?
Okay, so who is Joyce? Definitely I'm a Christian, a gospel recording artist. Dad is a pastor, mom as well. So meaning that I'm born from that background.
Yeah.
A teacher. And a passionate worship leader.
Okay.
And I'm married.
Awesome.
Yes.
So walk us through your upbringing. As you rightly put it, you're coming from a whole household of Christians. But we want to understand, because there's this notion that because I'm born in a Christian household and then I am born again. But walk us through your upbringing and just your encounter with Jesus. Really.
Okay, so my upbringing.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy in that when dad and mom were bringing us up, I think they instilled in us, I don't know if I can say fear of making mistakes or what, because we're taught to say we are preachers as well. Yeah. Of course, I believe every believer is a preacher, but a situation where you get to mingle with other friends and then they're free to do whatever they wish to, and they knew you were taught to say, okay, you are not supposed to do A, B, C, D. You have to be
home at 16 hours.
And exactly. And even when it came to friends, you had to be very selective. Like you don't just need to just get any person. Yeah, so it was like that. But coming to me getting born again, Dad is the one who actually led me to Christ when I was 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I was quite young. When I was 6. But then I don't know whether I can say I got born again. I don't know. Because then I was 6. Of course, he read scriptures to us, where we used to have devotions, every evenings before sleeping and blah, blah, blah. But then I know I received Jesus Christ when I was 6, but I don't really think I really understood what I was doing. Yeah. Up until when I was 15, when I just decided to say, okay, I think this is what it means to be born again. Like, okay, you need to live ABCD life. And at that point, I was not even living my life now for my parents, but I was living my life for myself.
Yeah. Interesting aspect of living life for yourself. Now, you are in that shadow, you being a preacher's kid. I'd like to pick your mind on some of your experiences. You rightly put it to say you couldn't mingle with just anyone. So was there like a rebellious state as well at some point?
Okay. Not when it comes to friends, but activities. But activities. So mom and dad were strict, especially when it came to sports. They wanted us to concentrate, especially on school and the like. So I remember at some point I was in a football team, and then and then we went out. And then we went out as a school. We went out just within town. And then a friend, so dad's friend, saw me playing. So those are just probably small, tiny things that I would probably rebel away. But all in all, I think I was a good girl.
Okay. You spoke on an aspect of fear growing up, where you mentioned that I think it wasn't more of a relationship with Jesus, but a fear of the
fear.
unknown. I know most of us, growing up, we would zapia. If you sin against God, like zakushoka mulungu and stuff like that. Now coming in and you having an experience of Jesus on your own, what are some of the steps which you took in terms of you now really building this relationship with him?
Okay, so definitely I used to go to church, right? I had a mentor. I remember, I think at the same age,
Yep.
that's the time I started attending youth meetings. Yeah. Of course, nowadays they call them, is it teen? But nowadays
teen
we never
class
used to have
and,
such. It was from, what is this, from Sunday school to youth.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is at that point, I remember on this particular Saturday where our teacher wanted us to choose who we wanted to be our mentors.
Yeah.
And I chose this specific person who actually helped me. He's a pastor now, who helped me. Of course, we're a few of us who went to him. He helped us. Personally, he helped me, of course, where growth is concerned, the word of God, prayers, and a number of ways, Christian ways.
Awesome. So now most people know you as a singer. Now, walk us through now you singing. Did you sing your way out of your mother's womb? And before I knew you, before you were ordained, walk us through your journey of singing and just finding yourself in this path. Or maybe basically in the evenings, all of you have to sing. Like, iwe, department yako ni mo praise.
Praise team, right? Okay. So I think there are two types of singers. The born singers and singers that are made just like leaders. Yeah. So for me, I think a born singer, just that it's my parents who got to discover the talent in me at the tender age. Like I was about, I think 5, when I used to go to kindergarten, and then I would come back, sing songs that I would learn. And then it's at that point that my parents got to discover the talent in me, and then that's how they developed it. So what used to happen is at 6, they used to teach me songs that I would get to sing in church. Now, okay, imagine you're 6 years old and then you have to stand in front of a lot of people. It was crazy. So Dad would actually get to stand next to me so that I actually get some boldness, some courage to sing. And that's how my road has been ever since. My parents, in my growing up, they were there so much. They would get to help me a lot. And then when I got to, I think when I joined the youth, that is when now I started having mentors. Mentors. Of course, the person that I liked so much then was the Lane Church. I used to like her songs then. And then, of course, I grew into it. Yeah, like that.
Okay, awesome. So, in terms of you now developing your, like now you're singing in the youth team, and or now when does it then develop into like a whole professional?
Okay, so when I was at college, there's some guys we used to sing with like a very, very long time ago. So they came to record at our school.
What are their names?
Yes.
If you remember them.
Yes. Daniel and Happy. But then I think they were going with a certain name. You know, in those days, people used to have
Groups,
like stage names.
Yeah, what was it?
Like I remember my name, my stage name then was J, like just J, you know. So people used to go with like stage name away from the actual name. So when they came to record, they asked me if I could help them with the BVs and the like. And that was my very first time to get in the studio. So after we did something, I was so inspired. So it's from there, after I got done with college, that I decided to do something. Yeah.
And what was your first?
Okay, so I did something from Livingston.
Yes.
Yeah, from Livingston, but then I had to come and redo it with G sounds.
Which was It's All Right?
No, which was Chikondi.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I think I was on your YouTube channel the other day, and then so I was like, okay, let's see which was. I think the first video was "It's All Right," shot by Besario. And
Yes.
So,
So, yes. So I did something with G sounds, and then after that, I did something with Besaria.
Yeah.
So with Besaria, that is where I got to do the same song. It's a right song, of course, together with other songs. It was actually an album, I think, of 10 or 12 songs.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've lost my...
So when I heard the song, I was like, oh, I actually know this song. I used to watch it like
Yeah.
big time. Like,
yeah,
so,
somewhere 2012.
yeah, that's like over what, 13 years ago. Awesome. So you find yourself in this space as a recording artist. Let's circle back. I know you're a teacher and you teach music, but like your choice of career path, was it like because you're a singer or like, or maybe parents are just like, we've always wanted a musician in the family and all. So.
Okay, it's okay. It's quite interesting. So I wanted to do music, like just music. I just wanted to study music. I did my diploma with at Evelyn Horn. Yes. So there they offer music. They also offer music with English.
Okay.
Yes. So when I got admitted, I was admitted as a musician, just a musician.
Okay.
So when I went there, I wasn't put in that class. I was put in the class where there were teachers there, like learning music. Yes. So after I learned, I think for 2 times or so, I was called by the administration, like, okay, you are in this class, you're not supposed to be in this class. What do you want to do? Do you want to continue or... But then after I weighed everything, I saw that the route that I had taken then had more advantages because at the end of the day, I would become a teacher. And like just doing music, you don't get deployed anywhere. Yeah. So I thought, why not continue? So that is how I continued. And that is how, here I am. Here we are.
So, and I know, so do you find fun in teaching the music, really?
Oh
like?
my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Because I'm thinking through as well in a sense of you... Yeah, actually, not just finding fun, but in you teaching the music, like, does it then like even prompt you to write songs like then like, you're just like I've caught up to that. Like.
Yeah. Okay. So I know the idea that you have, right? Like, okay, maybe we just sing and
Okuliza
mangoma or my keyboards and the like. Of course, we do that. There's a section for that, but it's more of theory.
Okay.
So what I mean by theory is where we get to teach pupils how to read and interpret written music.
Not how to play it.
Also how to play it. Because they have to also choose an instrument, either keyboard or any other instrument. We have the band at our school. So a pupil has to choose what they want to learn on their own. And of course we do teach them. There's also a section for dancing. So do I enjoy teaching music? I do. I do. And the good part is at my school, I have some pupils who have actually approached me. Like, so I teach them something a little bit away from what we teach. So like I mentioned, it's reading and interpreting what you are reading. But then what I teach away from that, it's a bit different because I don't have to teach them like, okay, you have to read music like this. It's now practical part of it. So I have at least 2 teams and they're very good kids.
Quick one. Now that you've spoken on writing and reading of music, so like, your songs.
Yeah, okay.
So like the way your songs are, right? Because I guess when you listen to them, you're able to say, okay, this is a C here, this is a B here, it's going into this and all. Like, have you ever gotten to a place where you've like written it down and then you've given it to your band to interpret it?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. But if I'm to do that, I would actually need help because there's a lot involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot involved. So definitely I won't just need to write like just the melody of it. I'll need to write everything.
How the drum went.
How the drum
the trumpet
went.
on
How
that point.
everything, like just everything.
So now talking about that, sorry, I know you'll be like, no, I'm not a mouthpiece for voicing out certain things, but the level at which our music is at, because I know different industries have greatly evolved. They have people who are masters in those fields in terms of recording, in terms of writing, in terms of playing and all those things. Do you feel most of our musicians are at that stage, like where they can even go to these different places and not feel intimidated to talk about music?
I think so. So when you look at music now, I think we are going somewhere. We're moving somewhere, especially as a nation. Because when you look at it, say 5 years ago, even 10 years, 15, 20 years, I think it's not the way the producers are producing right now. That is in the studio, and it is also not the way the writers are writing songs. Even ministration and performance has changed. So I think we are actually moving somewhere, and I don't think not anyone, but of course those that are working hard, those that are making it, I don't think they can feel intimidated on any stage where we are right now.
Yeah. Another aspect is you who's gone through the educational space and all, and we have this notion, especially with artists, so long as you're able to play, money is coming in, there's no need for you to upgrade in terms of documentation, in terms of you just going the extra mile to really study and get the structure of education. So you is it educationist?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
so
yes.
what's your take? Because I guess you even get to hear it from some of the big musicians. You're just like, you know, going to school. Like, we've already mastered the
arts.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's a lot involved. So like I mentioned, at first I was at Evelyn Horn where I got my diploma. And then I upgraded at Rusangu where I got my degree. So given a chance, actually, I would actually get to do more.
Yeah.
For me, I think there's an advantage getting to learn because you also get to learn of course, through the same lessons, you get to learn also how other people are doing it. And there are also just some certain things that you need to learn. Details, like just details. Yeah. It's not just about singing, but you need to know exactly what you are doing. Okay, why should this song go like this and not like this? That is if you are a writer. Okay, when it comes to performance, why should you not do this instead? Why should you do this? You get the point. And also when it comes to playing of instruments, you are exposed to quite a number of instruments. So I think there are quite some advantages, when it comes to getting into school because you get exposed. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And reeling from that, I'm just thinking through on how like concerts are arranged. So I know there are people playing the instruments. Of course, those are the people, the singers, those are the people who pretty much like get the credit on what's happening. But then there's somebody behind who's trying to make sure that the sound levels are proper. There's somebody behind who's making sure that all the cables and it gets to show how huge music is as a space. So you can specialize into all these different things. Anyways, coming back into your
Yes.
So when I was doing the introduction, I spoke on the aspect that when I met Prophet Jonathan, he was talking about the We Are One concerts. You've over time been doing all these We Are One concerts and all. Walk us through what are they all about? Because you've never done any in Lusaka.
Okay, we
It
yet
feels like they are meant for outside Lusaka.
we are yet to. Yeah, by God's grace,
Yeah.
that is. Yeah. So we are one. Why we are one? Or what is we are one?
Yeah.
So this is where we get to bring people from all walks of life, yeah, and different religions, despite what they believe in, because I believe that what brings us together,
Yeah.
SDA, Roman Catholic, no matter who you are, it's the name Hallelujah. That one you can't get it away from a Christian.
Yeah.
And not just Christians anyway. So we are
It's
like
praise the Lord.
Yes, it's praise the Lord, right? Yeah. So we are calling it We Are One because we get to bring everybody together. We get to worship under one roof, and we just get to praise God together. And yeah, I think let me end there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, walking through, you've done 3 albums. Album number 1 was titled what?
Chikondi.
Album number 2.
It's all right.
Album number 3.
The altar.
Okay. So these albums, like getting to be able to write all of them, because I know albums are like a story. They're like a picture of who you are at that particular time. So I want you to walk us through you writing the Chikondi album, you writing the It's Alright album, and then now you being now at the altar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I mentioned, for Chikondi, I was inspired by my friends who were in the studio.
Yeah.
And after I helped them, I thought of doing something for myself. So of course I had a few songs. All the songs I think that are there, I wrote them myself. So for the first album, I just did the writing on my own. Yeah, I just did the writing on my own. And then for the second album, so I did the second album with Bezaria. So like I mentioned, it is an album which has how many songs? Is it 10 or 12 songs or so? Yeah. So for this particular album, I had to do it. Actually, what inspired me to do this album, it's the song, It's Alright song, because there's a story behind it. Okay. So the story behind it is then I was job hunting, and then I couldn't get any. Like it took a while for me to get a job, and then after a while, that is when I got a job. But then it was during that time when, like I mentioned, I was job hunting. I remember walking the streets of Lusaka with heels like this, and my heels got finished. And my heels got finished, you know. And it's at that particular moment that this song came about. It's alright, Ekonde. Like, okay, I'll testify. Yep. One day I'm going to testify. One day I'm going to have a job, and this situation is temporal. So after the It's Alright project, I stayed, I think, for 10 years or over. So this time around, I was, I think, getting to just find myself. Yeah. Because when you check the first album and the second album, it is a mixture of different genres. Yeah.
They're just so, like, so long as you're sevens at night, you're sevens at 10
exactly. Like, okay, I do R&B, rumba, I can't rap, so unfortunately. Unfortunately,
But who
I don't
knows?
have
Maybe,
that. But maybe
somebody
I
can write
right?
and then.
Yeah. So in the past, let me just say, in the past, I just used to write for the sake
Yeah.
of writing. Like, okay, la 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 la, I write. Of course, getting inspiration maybe from somewhere. Yeah, and then I'll just write. But then, after I had this break, 10 years break, I had to find myself.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what do I really want to do? And it is in this place that I remember, actually, it's my husband who asked me, what do you want to do? What is your focus on this project?
Yeah.
I remember when he asked me that question, I had to digest, like, okay, yes, what do I really want? Who is Joyce?
Yep.
What is she called for? So that is how I told him to say, okay, I want to do a worship album. Why? And then I told him, I feel God is leading me in this direction. So if you actually get to listen to that song, the whole album, actually, most of the songs are worship related. Not a thing, but it's because I feel I'm called in that field. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting journey. I know the album, how many features? I'm trying to remember. 4?
Okay, so we have Pastor Washi. We also have Christine. Yeah, we also have Christine. We have Simon. And then we have my husband, my darling husband.
Wait, why? I don't know why your husband is coming in as a feature. The two of you are one, so.
I know, right?
Yeah, so actually coming through to your husband, like walk us through your journey of you meeting your husband.
Oh my goodness. So, well, my husband. My story is different from his. A bit different from his, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so he has his own side of the story. I have my own side of the story. But anyway, that was back somewhere, I think 2008, when I was invited at the National PLG Youth Camp in Kafiwe.
You even remember that?
Yes, yes, in Kafiwe. So there I was just singing. And I remember, I think my first album was the Chikondi album, and I went there to promote it. But then at that particular moment, I was leading praise. I was given to lead praise and worship. Of course, after I did my ministration and the like, I was given to lead praise and worship.
Yeah.
And then after that, for me, I got done with everything. I went home. But according to him, that's where he saw me from.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
You
where...
didn't see him?
No.
Okay. Anyways, you were this superstar, so...
Yeah, so then later on, we met on Facebook. He said hi. I said hi back. We chatted a bit. And then here we are.
Yeah, from Facebook to the world.
Yes, to the world, Facebook to the world. But of course, he told me to say he'd seen me in the camp. I think about 2-3 years passed after he saw me in the camp. And then God, being a gracious God, we met on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And when did you guys get married? Because I know it's 2009 and Pagapita 3 years in 2012.
No. We got, so 2009. I think we physically met in 2013, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But we got married in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Interesting. So you being married, and you pointed out the fact that your husband asked you to, like, what do you really want to bring out? And I do understand that you and your husband like collaborate on a lot of things. Like, how has that been, having like somebody supporting your vision and dreams? Like,
There are very few. Like, trust me. There are very few people who would support their partners. I've seen my husband literally. I even feel emotional. Like he's been supportive, like very much supportive. So me getting in the studio, of course, I really wanted to get in the studio, but then I didn't know how to tell him. Like after we got married, I didn't know how to tell him. And of course, me being a Christian, I went to God in prayer, like, okay, God, like Esther, right? Before she got to meet the king, like, okay, God, I need to get in the studio, and I don't even know how to tell my husband.
Yeah.
So on his own, by God's grace, and I think by the Spirit of God, he asked me, when do you want to get in the studio? Christmas has come too early.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I actually got in the studio, and he's been very, very supportive, like I said. And like I mentioned, there are very, very few people who support their partners. But for me, I think it is a prayer answered, because when praying for a husband, that was my prayer. I told God, I was specific. I told him, I want somebody who's going to support me.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think God gave me just that. Yeah. So it's been a good journey with him.
Yeah.
He's been supportive. We've done ministry together. And he is also a worship leader at the local church where we are. It's amazing how
You're
he
not
also
supporting
gets
him
to... come again?
You're not supporting him for an album.
No, for now he has to support me. For now he has to support me. So he's been there for me. When it comes to songwriting, we've co-written most of the songs. He's written some songs for me. We've done a lot. We've actually done a lot together.
Yeah. So when you think of Joyce, like what would be, I know could be position ijayokambati nafika manje, but when it comes to Joyce, like Joyce, like at what point did you feel like, okay, you know what, here I am, master, here's your good and faithful servant coming to you now. Like at what point did you feel like, okay?
At what point would I feel like, am I ever going to be satisfied? But I've seen myself grow, and okay, I think it would be too much of me talking about my husband, but that is how it is.
Yeah.
My husband has been there. He's been somebody who's been there to push me, somebody who's been there to inspire me, like even push me to my limits.
Yep.
So let me just say, I've seen myself grow, but then I don't want to be satisfied, like, okay, I've achieved A, B, C, D, so we are okay. No, I think I want to do more. Yeah, I want to do more.
Okay. So actually, you mentioned that you had a few collaborations in the album and all, but locally, like, what's like that wish list which you have? Like, okay, I would like to collaborate with so and so, like.
Okay. You mean like now?
Yeah, like even in the next 5 years or
Okay.
2 years or what, 1 month, 1 week, even a few days.
Okay.
Anything is possible.
Yes, anything is
Yeah.
possible. I've always liked Rachel.
Okay.
Since I heard about her, like she's been my inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've always liked Rachel, and I would really love to work with her. I guess Demoni as well. I would love to work with Demoni as well. Pelile.
Okay.
Yes, I just love her passion. I love her voice. I love everything about her. Yes. Yeah, so I think I would love to work with
There's like an all females list, and then the men said,
Really, eh?
Nanga
I just mentioned females. Oh. Okay, so, okay, coming to men, right? so like I mentioned, I worked with Pastor Worship before. I think I would love to work with Pastor Gift. Yeah, I would love to work with Pastor Gift. I would love to work with Ephraim as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you've had this journey from what? 2009. That's like 17, 18 years ago, is it? Yeah. Yo, that's a long time.
Yeah.
You've had this whole journey. Do you have any regrets, like any moments in time where you just like moments of regrets and as well moments of reflection to just say, God has been good through this journey.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that the 10 years break that I had, remember I mentioned that, is it 10 years or over 10 years between the second album and the altar? So during that time, I was distracted with a lot of things. And as I was distracted with a lot of things, and remember I said I was also trying to find myself. Yeah. So being obstructed with a lot of things, I was not actively involved in music. So abantu bamakuka bamaenda. Bamaenda. So during this time, like I mentioned, I wasn't actively involved. Most of my fans had moved on to other artists. So I think I regret giving it's this long break. But again, at the same time, I really, really appreciate God because he took me through to find myself, to find my sound. Because in the past, I just used to sing anything. R&B, ndise, shanshan, ndise, vonse shabeti pezeka. Vonse shabeti pezeka. So I'm glad that I found myself and and this is my sound.
And it's actually really interesting to say finding your voice. I think most of us fail to do so. I think finding your voice isn't just in singing, or finding your voice could be like finding yourself. Like, who are you? How do you bring out your authentic self that even as you're ministering, you are you authentically? Like a different, yes, you are a royal priesthood, a holy nation, but you are different from the rest. Same way we have different DNAs, like our thumbprints are different from the other. But getting to find that, I think most people get to struggle. Even in the music ministry or industry, like you get to find, like, if there's a trendsetter, like everybody just gets to follow them and all, and you just like, but you know, you can... Yeah, but it's really,
just
really...
because probably you can sing almost anything doesn't mean that you have to sing anything. No, you need to find yourself. And there you are going to shine. Yeah. Awesome.
Now, speaking on singing anything and everything, you're a gospel music minister, and right now the church has gotten to a place where we dilute anything, like we put in anything and everything, and everybody wants to produce music to trend, music to just hit the waves, like become a hit song, like what's your take when you hear? Because I guess you've heard your fellow music ministers just say, hey, nifuno panga hit song iwazalila ikachoka, like it's like what's your take on that when you hear people say such things?
I think for me, like you are saying, I think it's not the right thing to do, because then you get to miss the will of God. The way God, the grace upon your life, if you are a singer, can be different from the grace upon my life when I'm a singer as well. So you need to know, okay, what does God want in my life, especially at this point? What sound does he want me to bring? And when you get to do that, I think you get to, like I mentioned, you get to shine. Also, God gets to expose you in a different way. We are not called for everybody. Every person is called for a specific group of people. So if you get to say, okay, tikalechabe tizapanga chingimbo, tizachitika, and the like, I think you get to miss it. So I think for me that doesn't sit well because what is God saying at that particular moment? Are you pleasing God or you are just pleasing yourself?
Interesting. It's because right now, like everybody wants to make a sound for TikTok. Like those 30 seconds, 1 minute, which we hear it like become a viral moment. But really, it's important to get to hear what is God saying. And seeing this, I think even from a podcast standpoint, like there are times when I look at episodes and then I'm just like, yo, this one is supposed to be hitting the 20s of thousands, like the hundreds of thousands. But really, the main thing comes back to what's the impact? What is it doing in people's lives? And then when you sit back, you find it's only like 40 views or 100 views, but you get to hear say, oh, I gave my life to Jesus when I heard that. Or I was down, I was low, but when I heard that, I was encouraged and I've put my faith back in Jesus Christ. So impact is more than you having a hit song. So
exactly.
Yeah, okay. Really, really interesting. This has been a great conversation. So this is 2025.
Yes.
The altar was released what? 2023, 2024?
2023.
2023. What are we expecting from Joyce this year?
Okay,
are you over-promising or...
Over-promising?
So that you put yourself under pressure to deliver. Okay? It works well under pressure. Okay, never to my CV most
I
of the
know,
time.
right? So this year people should expect something. I've started working on something. So I hope to drop something. Yes, I hope to drop something. Maybe 1 or 2.
Timelines, is it June? Is it August? Is it, you know, like I'll drop something soon. Like 2,000 years ago,
anything,
Jesus
right?
Christ said, I'll be back
and we're
soon.
still waiting. And we're still waiting. Okay, so let's say between now and August.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
I should be able to drop something. And by God's grace, maybe a video also will follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for people who want to follow you and want to get to know more of you, where do they find you? Like which platforms do they find you?
Okay, so...
And where can they find your music?
Okay. So they can find me on Facebook. I go by the name Joyce ZM. They can also go to YouTube, TikTok, Twitter as well. And then my music is on all streaming platforms. So they can just get to search for Joyce ZM. My songs will come.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. This has been a great conversation. I've thoroughly enjoyed and just getting to know more about you. And looking forward to many more interactions. Hopefully we'll have you back when the song comes out.
When the song, soon.
Yeah, so thank you for coming through to the Umubanga podcast. And thank you for traveling far and wide to just come and be with us. 900 kilometers?
It's far. Yes. It's far. You really have to think twice to travel.
But thank you for pouring your heart and just sharing your life with the whole nation, with the whole world, and just you ministering Jesus boldly. And so thank you.
And thank you so much for hosting me.
A huge shout out to Mr. Banda.
You appreciate. You appreciate.
Yeah. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you've been informed, transformed, as well as inspired. So make sure you stay authentic to yourself. Make sure that you wait on God. Though it delays, it will surely come to pass. I think, am I right, Mofia? That's the correct one? Though it delays, it will surely come to pass. So I know most of us have got great visions, great dreams, and we're asking God, say, God, you're delaying, you're not coming through for me. Chill. It's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And as the songwriter says,
It's all right.
Awesome. So from me, Dennis Umubanga and Joyce, we say bye-bye.
Bye.